The first Intel Africa Masters opening qualifier is done and dusted across all 4 regions, which means we have our first batch of teams locked in for the closed qualifier. My name is Hayes, and welcome back to News Blast. Starting things off with Egypt, there was only 1 slot left available coming into the weekend, with the previous 3 slots being populated by Seika, who have put a target on their back as the team to beat, having gone undefeated through the opening qualifier, Cairo City G's, who came in a narrow second place, Overdraw, who picked up 24 points through the process of qualifying, and the last team to get their name on the list was Al Askar, accumulating 21 points throughout the table. There were a number of teams who finished on 15 points in the middle of the pack, meaning the second opening qualifier in the Egyptian region is going to be hotly contested. The 8 teams that qualified through the North African region were Project B12, Extreme TN, GHAX DZ, and 15 Average Gang having come through the upper bracket, with MLC Esports, NGG DZ, Team 5, and MindF having secured themselves positions through the lower bracket. Moving things across to South Africa, Black Laminate coasted through the upper bracket of the opening qualifier, comprehensively winning all 3 of their matches, including a 16-5 win over Royalty. What made their run even more impressive is that they were using Chappie as a stand-in for their core player Lost. After being dropped to the lower bracket at the hands of Black Laminate, Royalty found themselves in a win-to-qualify matchup against Taken Esports, in which they showed great temperament and were able to win their game 16-4 on Nuke, with Melkis dropping an impressive 23-7. Another success story in the lower bracket that comes as no surprise is Nixa getting themselves into the closed qualifier. They found themselves against Illicit Esports, and David versus Goliath doesn't even do this matchup justice, with Illicit finding themselves against some of the country's best, including the international superstar Sonic. Nixa were ruthless in their pursuit, winning the game 16-3 and booking themselves a ticket in that next stage. The 7th team to get themselves a spot in that next stage were Stepdads. They were also dropped to the lower bracket at the hands of Black Laminate, but were able to complete a flawless run through that lower bracket, winning all 3 of their matches, including a qualifying win against Rage Quit. The last team to book themselves a spot in the next stage of the competition were Vibin, who were dropped to the lower bracket at the hands of Goliath Gaming a few weekends ago after making an impressive run through the upper bracket. It meant that they had to win only 1 game in the lower bracket to secure themselves that spot in the next stage of the competition, and they did exactly that against Oscillate Esports, who they beat 16-6. That completes the list of teams that have qualified for the South African closed qualifier, with Bravado Gaming, DNMK, Goliath Gaming, Black Laminate, Nixa, Royalty, Vibin, and Stepdads all forming part of that next stage of the competition. Lastly, the teams from Nigeria that were able to get themselves into the closed qualifier through the first iteration of the opening qualifier were the incredibly dominant and impressive Outlaws, Ghetto Militants, Cruise Gaming, and Epic Bots, who will all form part of the next stage of the competition. That's a wrap for the first opening qualifier, with the second opening qualifier starting on the 27th of August. Registrations are already open on the Intel Africa Masters website. Be sure to head over and cement your team's position in that next qualifier, and we'll catch you guys then.